welcome. Happy Friday night. It is the 26th of March, I believe, still. Hello and welcome to The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the bearded villains' worldwide brotherhood and the lives they are changing all around the world. Gentlemen, ladies, it's Friday night. We find ourselves here once again. I am so grateful, so blessed that you guys are here with me to spend a little bit of time on a Friday night, having some fun, hanging out, doing what we do, spreading some really cool information, some cool messaging, get some stuff out there about what all of our bearded villain brothers are doing. And sometimes we have interesting topics that you never knew would happen. Sometimes we have some stuff planned out. Sometimes we do some things a little different, and we say that a lot. But we're going to do something a little different we haven't done before as part of tonight's podcast. We've done something similar that was just kind of just very snappy thrown together before during a podcast when we tried to raise some money for a specific cause. And we're going to try and do something like that in a little bit here tonight as well. So welcome to The Heart of a Villain. As I said, this is episode 76. We're climbing up there, guys. Thank you to everybody who is here, who's taken some time out tonight. If this is your first time here, checking this thing out on the YouTube, please get over there and let me click this little fancy button here for you. And, oh, I don't know where it's at. But maybe it's this one. There it is. I'm all over the place tonight. Like and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the little thingy there so you get all of the villain videos that come out of this channel in the future. I want to say a happy hello and special thank you to those people who are here live that I can see live that are in the comments section. I always like to take a few seconds out and wish them well. These people are taking some time out specifically to take part in the conversation, and it's always fun to see how things kick off. How does it normally kick off? Well, it normally kicks off with Rob. Rob, over there in the UK, Robab, he always kicks things off usually. He's here 10 minutes before everybody else sometimes. So thank you, Rob, for being here. Baloo Bear, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? Derek is here. How things down south, buddy? Hopefully everything is going well for you. Kevin's here. DJ's here. Now, I'm just going by what your handle is here on the YouTube. If you don't normally go by that, I apologize. But sometimes it's hard for me to make that transition between your YouTube name and your real name, your IG name, or your villain name sometimes as we go. So Kevin's here, as I said, the bearded Irishman. He's here. He wants to be in episode 99, he said. I'm not sure why. Do I want him to be in episode 99? Not so sure. We'll see. I do have to get an update from him sometime soon on his word for 2021. So you guys, thanks so much for being here, for kicking things off, for having a great conversation to start things off. I love to see the interaction that's going on here in our villain community. I did make a mention of a thing called a one-word challenge. Remember that one word. I said Irishman needs to give me an update here before too long on a one-word challenge. As I said, back at the beginning of this year, we talked about a thing called a one-word challenge, and I challenged everybody, and this wasn't something I created. This was something that obviously I heard about, but we came up with and challenged everybody to come up with one word for 2021, one word that was going to push you, that was going to drive you, that was going to be everything that you were going to be in 2021. And my word was move, but other people had some really great words. What was really funny was I had about 20 people submit words for me with little video clips, if you recall, and not a single one of them was a duplicate, which I thought was pretty cool. So as I've said earlier this year, I'd be checking back in. I've already checked back in with a couple people early this year, and I will continue to do so. If you have a very cool word for 2021 that you have not told me about, reach out to me and let me know. I'd love to be able to check back in with you and find out how whatever word you're using for this year has driven you and is pushing you through 2021. So, guys, as we kick things off here, we're going to do two things specifically today amongst all of the foolishness that we normally would have. Normally we talk a little bit about some of the things that our chapters are doing, where I try to share either some fundraising abilities, some merchandise sales, different things like that I come across if I've heard about them. So there are times when I miss some, so I do apologize. That's why it's important for you to keep me up to date. Reach out to me if your chapter's doing something really cool, raising some money for a specific cause or a specific event. I am not tied to certain regulations because this podcast is independent, although I do discuss all things Bearded Villains. So if there are fundraisers, things like that I can help you if you're doing, that's helping out brothers, family members, different things like that, I will, of course, push and help drive those as well, as we are going to do tonight. Now, I'll get into that in just a second, but we are going to have the chance here to do something kind of cool, where anybody that's live watching or watching this on the replay, even for the first few days after this is up on YouTube, will probably still be able to assist and participate in this. If you recall, last year sometime, and I wish I knew exactly which episode it was, we had a brother that was looking for donations on a donation page for I believe it was a bicycle race they were trying to do. And they were just a little bit below what the numbers were, but they still had a few weeks left to go. We heard about it, and it just so happened that he was an interview guest for the week. And I said, hey, I'm going to challenge all my listeners right now. If you haven't donated to something and you have a couple bucks that you can donate, please go out here to this web address or to this donation page, see what you can do and donate. And I'll be darned if by the end of that broadcast, the listeners, the viewers of this program helped push him over the edge and then some. And so that was a really, really cool thing. I was really happy to be a part of that and to see it, to witness it happen just kind of right before our eyes in a very random manner. And it was very cool to see. So today we have an opportunity to do something kind of similar. And I want to share that with you guys here in just a minute. But hopefully we can do something cool to help be a part of this donation effort. So we'll get into that in just a minute. First, I want to remind you guys, as always, all previous 75 episodes of the podcast are available at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. All previous episodes or on any major podcast platform that you can get this show. You can listen back to all of them. We're somewhere around, because we've doubled up a few episodes with different, with multiple chapters. So I want to say I'm pushing 100 chapters now, or thereabouts, maybe somewhere in the 90s, members of different chapters that we've spoken with. I think we're somewhere in the vicinity of between 15 and around 15 different countries. So we've done some really cool interviews. So go back, listen to some of those. It's really, really fun to see what some of our brothers around the world are doing. So definitely check that out, please. Okay, so what I want to get into real quick here first is to share with you some things that are coming up as far as merch that we can help out possibly with. And one of these, if you are not going to be able to make DSV5, but you want to assist in getting a couple patches, North and South Mississippi patches, the anniversary patches for 5 year. They are both $8. There's one that's gold and one that is silver-ish, looks like. But they are only $8 each. So if you go out to their, I believe probably the North or South page probably has these. But keep your eyes out for these because they're going to be selling these both at DSV5, but also at before the event as well if you're not able to make it. So check these guys out for sure. And then while we're talking about DSV5, I just want to mention this, the Back to the Juke Joint merch. They have several of them. There are T-shirts. There are short sleeve T-shirts. There are ringers. There are all sorts of different shirts. I'll say I could go into this, and I don't even have pictures of all of them. But as you can see, there's all sorts of colors of them. There's blue. There's mint green. There's white, charcoal, purple, whatever you think of. And then we got Raglans too. The Raglans here, with the Back to the Juke Joint logo on them. Very cool stuff. I can't wait for this event. This is going to be a lot of fun. But the DSV5 shirts and I believe the patches that are there are available at bvnorthms.com. bvnorthms.com. So that is that. Now, one of the things that, as I mentioned earlier, that we've done in the past was try to help raise some money here on the podcast. Now, this time around, we are going to assist our Bearded Villain brothers. I want to try and help us assist our Bearded Villain brothers in Louisiana because they have an event coming up that they're doing to assist one of their brothers. And it is a crawfish boil. A crawfish boil. And this is to help out their treasurer, Tony. And the situation basically is this. Unfortunately, Tony suffered a stroke and now is finding himself in need of some assistance. And what they have found in doing some checking is that a service dog would really benefit him. And as you can well imagine, service dogs are very expensive. So on Sunday, May 2nd, 2021, from noon until 7, they're hosting a crawfish boil. If you want to go by there, if you can help out, if you want to be there in person, it's in Madisonville, Louisiana, at 127 Highway 22 East, number W20. I'm not sure what that's all about, but addresses are addresses, right? I don't know. But all the proceeds that are created from this event are going to help Tony get his dog Lily trained to be his service dog. So what I want to do is I want to first mention here that there's two ways that we can help out tonight. One is via PayPal. There's a PayPal set up for this, and if you prefer, you can also do Venmo. So the PayPal is TK. I'll just spell it out for you for the people that are listening. TKPENS and Creations. So TK Pens and Creations at gmail.com. TK Pens and Creations at gmail.com. Or on Venmo, you can go and it's at Anthony Battaglia. So, no, that's not a typo. That's the actual address that had to be used for Venmo. So follow one of those two things. And as part of that, what I'm going to do over the course of this episode, if I can bring it up here, is I'm going to try and bring up a logo that's going to show on the screen during the time of the rest of this episode. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you're trying to get in there, I would really love to see. I know we're not going to change the world tonight with the viewers that we have, but I think it would be really cool if we are able to come together and get some donations coming at this time on a Friday night when everybody else is out doing some stuff to come into this PayPal or Venmo to help out. So it's right there at the top of the screen. If you have any questions, there's your Venmo and there's your PayPals for you. So take it for what it's worth. See what we can do. I would love to see us help out, help our brother out here. So that's that. Let's make it work. I know I'm going to be, during the interview that I'm going to play in just a few minutes, I'm going to get over there and see what I can get on the PayPal for. But I encourage everybody else to remember every little bit counts. Every little bit. Even if you think only $2, that counts and it helps. If everybody, as I've already said, and we've had one of our Bearded Villain brothers once said, if everybody could just donate $1 to the causes that are going on, just imagine how much we could do. So let's try and see what we can do tonight. Let's try and see what the heart of the villain can do, what the heart of the people that are watching this program live, what we can do tonight, see what that's about. So that's that for tonight, guys. Now I'm going to roll gently in to our interview guest for tonight. Now, this is kind of cool because just so happens we had a birthday bear. we had a birthday bear. And many of you guys will know who I'm talking about. On IG, he goes by villain_bear. Everybody just knows him as Bear. From Bearded Villains, Tennessee. I learned a few things about him that I didn't know in this interview I had with him. But his birthday is today, actually today, and I was able to catch a quick interview with him this morning before he went on his way for some fun tonight that he is having with some Bearded Villain brothers. And just a real cool dude. You may have seen his Instagram lives out there where he comes online and just sits there and chats with people, brings people in, has fun conversations, just a good time. And so I thought it would be perfect on his birthday of all days. Now, I do laugh at this now. He's only 30. Now, I know there might be some listeners out there younger than that. But when I heard him talking about his birthday coming up a couple days ago, and he said that he's going to be 30, I was like, I can 30. That was like 17 years ago for me. That was a long time ago. I remember what a big deal 30 was, but that's a long time. Oh my, how times change. How fast time flies, right, guys? Just remember that. 17 years went by like that. So I hope you guys enjoy this little interview I have with Bear. It's a good time. Check him out on Instagram if you don't already. Keep your eyes out because he does random Instagram lives just for the fun of it. And he'll just pop in sometimes. And if he sees you in there, even if he's never talked to you before, don't be surprised if he pops on there and requests that you come live with him because he's just one of those guys that loves to talk to people, especially people he doesn't know real well. And that's something I think we could all take from people. Those that have been around for a while. And he's been around since 15. So I think it's really cool that he does that and he affords himself the opportunity to. I wish more of us would use that to our advantage. Too often, I think, even with technology that it is today, with our line chats, our line video chats, our Instagram stuff that we do, we stick to the handful of people that we know real well. And one of the things that I've found that is so rewarding within this podcast is it's given me the opportunity to learn about brothers from all over the world, brothers that I would never have ever met. I can't travel the world, but through this podcast, through the profiles that we meet up with, through the line chats, through the Instagram stuff, we're able to take a time and not just reward ourselves with getting to know somebody through their static profile pictures, but we have a chance to sit there and actually talk to people, listen to them, learn from them. And I know so many of our brothers, there's a handful of brothers that know how poorly I do any kind of an accent. And there's some line chats that are going to be kicking off tonight, or some Outlook chats, I think it is, that are out there where one of our brothers up in Canada has created a nice little resource for people to just chit-chat away on a Friday night. And such a cool thing. But in the process of doing that, they found out that when I try to speak in an accent, like a few of our English brothers over in the UK, it goes poorly. But what's really cool is it's a learning process. You learn from other people. You hear other sides of the world. You hear you hear people's perspectives from all over the world. And you never know what you're going to get. So keep your eyes. Hey, Forrest Gump, right? Life is like a box of chocolates. I mean, that's the best thing about this brotherhood. I think sometimes is that you look at that and you see, let's chit chat. Let's talk it up. Get online, invite people into your life that you don't normally know that are villains. Take some time out and talk to them. So I've rambled on long enough. Some of you are saying probably too long. That's okay. It's my show. So we're going to kick this off now. I'm going to play this video from my interview this morning, actually, with Bear. I have a birthday guest with me today. He is turning, oh my gosh, it scares me to think about, because it was so long ago for me. He's turning 30 today. He's been talking about it for a couple days, wondering what in the world he's going to do with himself for his 30th birthday. But I saw it and I said, Bear, I need to bring Bear in. So help me welcome Bear to the Heart of a Villain. How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Hey, the kids are all happy for you.
Woo!
So, Bear, man, you are one fun dude, man. I've been a fan of yours ever since I first met you, since I first saw you online. We don't live too far apart, and it's nice that we've seen each other at some of the regional events that we've had. But, dude, some people know you from IG. Some people know you from your IG lives that you do. They chime in, they tune in to see
hmm
what bullshitting with Bear is all about. So just real quick, it's your 30th birthday. Happy birthday again to you.
Yeah.
Um, what
Thank you. I appreciate it.
what let's just dive right into this. For those that are not familiar with you, tell everybody a little bit about you and how you found BV, man.
Well, I'm Bear. I started my journey back in 2014. I didn't get my prospect patch, I guess. It was back then before the whole villain thing. Until uh, March. Actually, tomorrow will be my 6 year anniversary.
Wow.
Of being in BVE. So it's I started out with Washington State chapter. I'm originally from Washington State. I helped establish that and found Washington State before they split it into two chapters back then. Moved out to Tennessee about 4 or 5 years ago. I took a little bit of a break of a hiatus from being in a chapter when I was getting married and was having a baby come up. I had a lot going on, and I just couldn't devote the time I could to as BV as I wanted to due to I was an officer in that chapter, so it was just a lot to handle. So I kind of took a step back, moved out to Tennessee um, about 5 years ago, and joined up with the 3 Star Villains, Bearded Villains Tennessee in 20. Well, I mean, it was Nash Vegas 5. Yeah, Nash Vegas 5 was when I was with this chapter.
Wow. Wow. So that's going to surprise a lot of people because a lot of people didn't know that you had roots elsewhere, and then
hmm
you transplanted to be a Tennessean. What?
I did, and yeah, my dad's been down here. My grandpa died in 2017 of cancer, and I inherited his property. So he's
Oh,
buried up here. I take care of the grave site and graveyard. So that's kind of how I ended up here in general. My dad moved down here when I was 4 or 5, so I've been coming here back and forth for, since I could fly by myself for all my summers and half my holidays. So I just kind of decided to pick up and move down here. So.
dude. I mean, sad story, but pretty dang cool that you're able to carry on the family legacy there at the property and I mean be able to
hmm
have the property to do that. So very cool stuff. I didn't even know that. That's awesome. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
does answer for me one question. I knew that you lived kind of not in a city environment because I laughed because as I was scrolling through Instagram for your stuff, I noticed that there was a short little video clip on your Instagram, and the caption was, "How much do I like spiders?" Eh,
Yeah.
and
I don't at all. Like not even a little bit. If I could name a fear in the world, spiders would definitely be one of them.
unfortunately, living in the country, you see a few.
Millions in
Wow.
my house, outside my house, under my house, everywhere. Yeah.
Well, I'll show everybody when this interview airs the comic nature of that post. How much do I love spiders? But unfortunately, you probably can't handle that every spider that way because you'd be destroying your house. But I'm not going to give
Yeah.
anybody any hints about this until they see it. But I just want them
Like
to enjoy it.
don't Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, there's been times where I would have rather done exactly what I did to that spider inside my own house and then suffer the consequences, or burn it down. But
Yeah.
I thought better of it, I guess.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite memes out there that shows an entire house engulfed in fire, and it says, "There was a spider. I took care of it," or something like that. But,
Yeah, yeah. I'm literally one of the people. If I see a spider and it's in my house and I can't find it to kill it, I like won't sleep that night.
oh, I've been there. I've been there. You just have that
Yeah.
you just know it's gonna find you in the middle of the night. That's
Oh
insane,
yeah.
dude. That's insane. So, it's your birthday. What are you gonna do today? You can tell you
I
can tell people that are not gonna be aware of it because by the time this airs, everybody will know.
Oh, okay, yeah. So actually, I'm gonna make a Popeye called me at I mean 12:15 this morning, I think it was. Scott Popeye, the captain of BVSI, and he's like, "Bro, you should come up to Evansville tomorrow for your birthday, because all the chapters getting together, and we were planning on getting together before we even knew it was your birthday. So you should come in and surprise them." And I was like, I don't know, whatever. That's kind of like last minute. But in reality, Popeye and I only live about an hour, 2 hours from each other. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go up there and surprise it. And Tommy, from I guess Brazil, but he lives in Connecticut chapter,
Yeah.
is actually T Leak. He's already there. So
Yeah.
uh, Popeye and Tommy and Saint know that I am coming, but nobody else does. So I'm gonna go up there and surprise them today for my birthday.
That's gonna be awesome, man. Tommy, man, he's all over the place. Um, I, I, he
Yeah,
just it just amazes me how much that guy's able to travel. But hey, more power to him.
right.
Yeah, well, definitely give him our love. I'll check in. I know you'll probably be already out partying when this is broadcasting. Because this goes off at 7 o'clock. The podcast goes off at 7 o'clock tonight. So I don't know. You'll probably already be out having fun. So it's good timing for it.
Yeah, that's about when I think we're planning on getting started. Um, but I wish you could come out, bro. I know you're not too far away, but it's a little bit too far last minute.
Yeah, it's a little difficult for me. It's 5+ hours ish, right about there. And without the
Mm.
wife knowing about it in advance, it would be a rough it would be a rough go for sure.
You
I would
gotta
be
keep mama happy, right?
yeah, I'd be paying for it for a bit. So I'm very fortunate already as it is being a stay-at-home dad. So I get time to do this stuff, and she enables she not really enables, but she allows me to spend a lot of time doing this stuff. So she's very patient with me. So I can't belittle that too much. So, but man,
You're a lucky man.
I am. So tell me a little bit about what it is to what are some of the things that I know these conversations that you've had are just kind of one-off things where you just kind of pop up live and just call it bullshitting with Bear, or every once in a while you'll call it something else. But those are some fun conversations, even if I'm not a part of it, to like check in and watch it happen when you're talking about stuff. Are there some really cool things that you've learned about some of these people, that some of the brothers and some people outside of even specifically BV, that you've come across and you've just like really cool people? Just hang out with them just on an offshoot type of a conversation.
Yeah, so it all started. I started doing lives, honestly, because I had knee surgery back in February, and I was really just bored, and I wanted to talk to people, not being able to move around a whole lot, and I missed hanging out with people, not being able to get out of the house and stuff like that. So I started those up, man, and it's been an interesting experience. I would have to say, you never know where the conversation is going to go. I try to bring as many people as I can, to talk to live. I've made a connection with people that I don't normally talk to because you never know who's going to decide to join your live. And surprisingly enough, it's really not a whole lot of people that I have spent a lot of time with or have met in person or or talked to a lot. It's people that I don't normally talk to, and really like I have almost like a live group, and then the
Mhm.
people that I talk to. So you never know where the conversation's going to go. Sometimes it gets super inappropriate. I don't keep any of the videos for that reason. Um,
That could be
just
dangerous.
because I don't know. Yeah, it could be dangerous, and I really just it's really just for me and who I'm talking to, and I mean we can get onto anything and talk about anything, and people ask some really dumb questions, and but it's been an experience, and I've loved being able to connect with people that I don't normally talk to. So
Yeah.
um,
This year especially, well, this last year especially, it's one of the cool features of having the technology so that we can do that. It's been, I think, one of the saving graces for those of us who like to talk to people, that we can actually connect with some of the people that we're, because we haven't had these events. Now that we're starting to see these things pop up, it's going to be really exciting to finally get back to hanging out again.
mm,
So I'm really looking forward to
right.
that. So that part of it. Which which events are you? Do you already have a schedule of events for this year that you're planning on making for sure?
Um, Everything is up in the air right now. I actually am planning on moving back to Washington State within the
Oh,
next few months. So that's another story and a story for a different time. But a lot of
yeah.
personal stuff's kind of going on. So
Okay.
um, but I am going to be moving back to Washington State. So as of right now, like last year, I didn't hardly miss anything. I might have missed two events. Anything that popped up, I was there. This year, I can't guarantee. The only thing that I can say that I'm going to be able to possibly make it to would be the West Coast meet in Colorado this year. Um, I just have to see. I'm going to be reestablishing myself, finding a new job, finding a new place, and stuff like that. So it's it's all up in the air right now. I've already signed my property over to my uncle, so he's going to take care of the place, so it stays in the family with my grandpa being here and stuff.
Oh,
So
good. Good.
everything's up in the air right now. As much as I would love to say that I'm going to be at every single event or I can make every single event, I really want to make DSV. I really want to make the West Coast meet. I want to make the national meet in Florida. I mean, I want to make them all, but sometimes you just can't.
Well, and it's a
Last
bigger,
year I was really fortunate,
yeah.
to be able
Well,
to do that. So.
and being in Tennessee, you're centrally located. So trying to
Yeah,
make an event anywhere is a lot easier than it is if you're stuck up in the Pacific Northwest. That poses a little bit
absolutely.
more of a problem for sure. But well, here's a question for you, and I didn't even give you a hint. I was going to ask this because it rolls off of what you just said. Um, Maybe you can answer this. I don't know. I've been trying to figure out how, and it's kind of a comic question, I guess, with probably no answer to it. But how is the West Coast meet being held in Denver? I I see Denver and I see the West Coast, and they're a little bit apart. So I just wasn't sure if there was if you'd heard it, if there was a reason behind it. One of these days I'll get an answer, but I think of I think of Colorado. Maybe it's just maybe I'm just geographically more illiterate than I think I am, but I think of Colorado as being more centrally located than I do west. So I don't know.
I mean, I honestly, I was like, why is the honestly when I first heard that the West Coast meet was going to be held in Colorado, I was like, why? You know? Um, but I think it's one of those things, and I'm not positive because I think they just kind of pass it around to that general area over there, where it's going to be held, kind of like uh, I don't know, like the East Coast meet, I guess, is not always this or like like I don't know. I really
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe
I
I'll
don't
reach out to
know.
one of those guys today and say so I can tell everybody for the podcast because I've heard other people ask it too, and I just kind of laughed about it because I'm like, so the distance, it's like the West Coast meet in Colorado is like Indiana hosting the East Coast meet. It's like I
Yeah,
the
yeah, or like us hosting the East Coast meet.
yeah,
Like,
or the West Coast
you
meet. I
know,
mean, you're right there,
it's
so why not?
I
Just
mean, we might as well at this point in time. If it's gonna be in Colorado, we might as well just put it here,
create
right?
a new one and just call it the Continental Divide meet, or I don't know what the what the heck. All right,
Yeah, ring of fire meet. I don't know.
there you go. Here you go. So, okay, so I know you want to get on the road here here shortly. Blech. Blah, blah, blah. But I want to have a little fun with you here. Taking a hint off of the TV show Hot Ones, where he asks somebody a question about a couple different photographs that
Yeah,
are on your IG profile. So
yeah,
I have a feeling I know the story behind maybe one or two of these, but I'm just curious. So let's first check out this one right here. And I'm curious, it's you hanging out.
yeah.
I know that you did a golf event, but seeing Bear with Cigar in what seems to be a golf cart, it it's an odd combination.
Yeah, we held a golf charity event this year, and we had a couple of vendors there. We had like Tennessee Brewing, I think it was called, and like Screaming Eagle Cigars out there as booth and vendors and stuff. And so the weather was absolutely I mean, miserable. It was barely above freezing. It was raining sideways. It was wet. It was cold. We were all dying. And my job was actually we were doing the longest putt on the last hole, on the ninth hole, and my job was to go out there and measure the whoever had the
Uh,
longest putt and stuff on the hole. And so because of my knee issues, I took one of the golf carts and I sat by the hole. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna light up a cigar right now, and we're just gonna chill out. I had a couple beers in the cart with me, and I was just chilling, man. I was like, this will be a good opportunity. Like, this is my kind of golfing. Like, if I'm not on the driving range trying to hit the ball as hard as I can, as I possibly can, like, put me in a golf cart with some drinks and a good smoke, and like let me just
that's
chill.
great.
Like,
That is so funny because it does not look like you're prepared to play or anything like that. But that tells. I mean, that story. It's
oh,
like he looks like he would rather be about 50 other places. Um, there's a little bit of frustration maybe in that face, um, but
I would have rather been almost anywhere that day. Besides hanging out with the bros and stuff like that, I would have rather been anywhere, but right there that day.
ah, that's funny. Okay, all right, that's a good story though. That's a good story. Okay, so this one's a black and white pick, and I grabbed this because I thought I want to hear the story behind this because I thought it was really cool image that you have. And this one seems to be a little scooter bike of some sort. What could you tell us about this book, this pick?
Yeah. So that was actually that's my mini bike. I have a Trailmaster mini bike. It's a 200 little trail bike. I've done some upgrades to it because I like making things go fast. It's loud. I took the muffler and everything off of it. So it'll with my big ass on it, I'm 275 pounds. It's only rated for 200, but I can still go almost 40
Oh, geez.
uh on it. Yeah, so it'll scoot, and I have about around my house. I live out in the middle of literally nowhere. BFE, we've got a liquor store, a gas station, and a local grocery store here. Like, I mean, that's pretty much it. So we have like I would say probably in 25 miles of back roads, like gravel roads through
Wow.
creeks, non-highway related roads. So pretty much I can take off from my house and I can get almost anywhere without hitting a main road. Don't have to worry about police, not like they care around here because everybody does it. State trooper, they don't really like it when you're riding on a main road. If you're unlicensed, they might give you a warning, they might give you a ticket. But I mean, the local PD and sheriff's office, they really just don't care. And That's my life out here. You know, we do a lot of bonfires. We do a lot of like back roads riding. Just good old like country boy stuff.
Yeah.
And that bike, I got out one day. I had just put actually this was shortly after I got that. I decided to go for a ride. It was kind of cold, a little bit chilly. As you see, I'm wearing my knee brace there because that was
Yeah.
before I had surgery. I didn't want to screw it up any further than I had, and I was just chilling, man. I thought I'd take a cool like country boy biker pick, quote quote.
I
Like it's not a Harley, it's not.
No, but I look at that and I'm
But
like, I look at that picture. I'm just like, dude, that looks like something I would want to go hang out with that dude for an afternoon. So just
oh yeah.
one of those days, man. That's awesome. All right.
And I was actually parked in front of a big creek that was a huge creek. It's all slate bedrock. It's about 4 or 5 inches deep that actually crosses the road. So I stopped. I didn't want to get wet. That's where I stopped. So
Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. This last picture, I gave you a preview of this earlier. This last picture, because it kind of is fitting for what you're going to be doing, or at least where you're going to be going, I think, later today.
yeah.
So this one looks fun. What can you tell me about this picture?
So this was 4th of July last year. This was at Popeye's house, actually their neighbor's house right across the street. But I was at Popeye's for 4th of July. A couple people showed up, as you can see in the photo. There's me and Will and Animal and Popeye and some other guys that actually weren't pool. Gator was there and stuff like that. But yeah. So I was just about to get in the pool. That was an interesting weekend to say the least. A lot of stuff happened. Tommy was there again, so it's gonna be like almost like a remake this weekend. But yeah. So I decided to if you've ever seen any of Animal's photos, he does the whole like mouth open, like
Mm-hmm.
screaming picture in most of his selfies. So I was like, hey guys, I copied him. I pulled one out of his book, and I was like, hey, let's do a photo out of his book. I got to do the animal. So I took that direct inspiration from him. These are some of my best friends, man, and it was just a good time. We had fireworks. Scott and Will and Animal and Gator and X from Florida.
Yeah.
We have our own little subgroup, the five of us, besides Scott. We call ourselves the Rat Pack, the BV Rat Pack.
Yeah.
But so shout out to these guys. And Scott's one of my best friends. I'm 2 hours from his house, even though he's 2 states up from me.
Yeah.
So I'm in Evansville a lot, Newburgh. I try and get up there as much as I can. So I'm heading there today. So I'm going to be hanging out with BVSI
Awesome.
uh, tonight. So
Yeah. Just a few hours. You're gonna be there, buddy. By the time everybody hears this, you'll be
yeah,
out there partying. So that's awesome. Well,
yep,
Barrett, man, I wish you nothing but the best for your birthday, man. I know you're going through a transition right now, and um, over the next few months, and it's gonna be something to adjust to, man. But you get your BV
yeah,
family and support system and all in place, and hell, you could probably close your eyes and throw your finger on a map, and within a stone's throw of that spot, somebody's going to know you there. So that's a good place to be, man. Good place
yeah. I
to
mean,
be.
I know a lot of people since I've moved over, more towards the East Coast. I've gotten a lot of experience, knowing a lot more of these guys over here on this side, which has been an awesome, awesome experience. And I hope to try to, when I move back or drive back, I'm hoping to kind of hit a few people's houses on the way back to
Just
see. I haven't decided quite which route I'm going to take, but I'm excited to see some bros in some other states heading back there.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, as you mentioned, going back there, and that's going to be literally that's going to be at the coast, where you're going to be, and to refer to coming over here toward the East Coast, and we're in the central part of the states. It's funny how people that live typically or come from the actual coasts, and they start to refer to that, coming central there. Yeah, I'm going toward the East Coast. No, you're not. You're central. So I had to laugh at you there for that one.
Yeah.
So, but
Oh yeah, I mean when you're on the coast, I was literally like maybe less than an hour from the Pacific Ocean. So I'm heading towards the east, I'm heading towards the East Coast. Yeah, I'm still like South Central
yeah,
essentially,
yeah.
Um, but I mean it's past the Mississippi, so we might as well call it the East Coast, right?
Well, if we're gonna use that as our designator, I guess. Sure. But hey, there is a plus to moving back out there. Obviously, you've come up with several, but one cool thing is that now you become a destination location. So people are like, I gotta go. I gotta go
Absolutely.
visit Bear. We're gonna go up there to an area that I know if. I mean, I've never been up there, so it'd be kind of a cool. We're gonna go visit the Pacific Northwest boys up there, man. And I know things are much more
Yeah, and
spread
I've
out,
already
but
had several.
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've had several people already been like, bro, like, yeah, like we're cool. We support you in anything you do or whatever. It'll just give us an excuse to be out there because we've never been out there before. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, you're not the only one.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, hey, I don't want to keep you too much longer. Drive safely. Getting to your destination for the day, the secret destination. Um, I'm sure there's going to be some IG live or IG experienced pictures coming online later
Yeah.
tonight. So I'm sure we'll all enjoy those. So uh, nothing but the best to you, buddy. Have a great day. Have a great birthday. And thanks for taking a few minutes with me, man.
All right, man. Much love, and I appreciate you having me on today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, rest of the weekend, whatever else you're doing. So
Yeah. Family stuff and cleaning and spring cleaning and all that junk. So not a lot of fun, but hey,
hey,
gotta be done.
just put 100% into anything you do, right?
There you go. All right, buddy. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.
All righty, bro. Have a good day.
All right, be safe. And there he is, the villain bear, the birthday bear. Great interview. That was so fun to talk to him, and I can tell by some of the comments in the comment section. I wasn't sure how well it would be received. The idea of bringing in some of that stuff, but yeah, it seems like it's the whole. Let's share a couple pictures and learn the story went over pretty well. But so far, I haven't seen too many live posts from Bear or his party goers, but I'm sure those will come out as the evening goes on. So, since I'm unable to be there in person to buy you a drink, I will buy myself a drink or pour myself a drink. Say cheers to you, Bear, your birthday on turning 30, the dirty 30, whatever you want to call it. You're a child in my eyes because you're so young. That's okay, though. Cheers to you. All right. Now, real quick, I wanted to get back to one of the stories that he told because I said I would share it. One of the stories that he talked about was the fact that he absolutely hates spiders. And it's kind of funny that when you live out in the country, you're afforded certain luxuries. One of those luxuries is to be able to dispose of a spider in a very magnificent and fantastic way. So I just wanted to share this with you.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man.
When you live out in the country, you can dispose of spiders with a weapon. Let's watch that again.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever a Spider-Man.
I love it, Bear. I love it. I've never taken care of a spider in that manner before, but I live in the city and, well, I live in the country, but it's in a subdivision. It would be frowned upon. So kudos to you for doing that. And thanks for sharing that with us. That was awesome. That was awesome. Great way to see it. Okay, guys. So, I want to roll in to our calendar events in just a second, but let me just remind you that we have our We're trying to do a last push. Now, this is still going to be available because, as I said, that fundraiser for Tony that they're doing, it's not until May, I believe. But so I'm going to try and remind people again as time goes on to help us raise some money for that. But I just thought tonight would be a great start for us as the people that watch The Heart of a Villain and the people that follow it, to see if we could do something really cool and just toss a lump sum of money as the viewership tonight. So if you haven't already, please try to consider a small donation if you can. The links are up there on the top of the screen. If you can't tonight and you have to wait for another day, please scratch down that address, the PayPal address or the Venmo. It's going to be up here till the end of the podcast in just a few minutes. But please scratch those down. Let's see what we can do to really help out. Come together as we always do. Come together as a family to help out. So let's do that. All right, guys. So I'm going to continue my. I'm going to continue what I did last time around, last week, where I decided to break out a little bit more of an 80s theme to our calendar of events, and only because it's my show and I want to do it. So I'm going to try and enjoy the 80s beat here and bring that up. So our calendar of events for this week, the 26th of March, 2021, May 21st and 22nd, DSV5. DSV5, hosted by our bearded villain brothers in South Mississippi. It's in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. DSV5, May 21st and 22nd. Hit up the brothers, South Mississippi, for further details on DSV5. It's going to be a blast. June 11th and 12th is the West Coast meet. Now, oh, wait a minute. I forgot to mention this. Let's tune this down for just a second. All right. So I had a little conversation with a member of Bearded Villains that's residing there in Colorado, and today, and just so happens that I'd struck up a conversation asking him, why is the West Coast meet in Colorado of all places? Because I don't see how it's on the West Coast. And so it was funny because his questioning was like, well, I guess we're considered the west part of the states. And to me, I'm still thinking Colorado is like in the middle of the country. And he said, well, technically Kansas is looked at as the middle of the country, and they're one state to the west of Kansas. So, okay, I understand that. But if you actually look at a map, it looks like the distance between Colorado and the West Coast would be like me in Indiana saying I'm the East Coast. And if you actually look at a map, the distance isn't too far off between the two. So I'm not quite sure why specifically they're hosting the West Coast meet, other than to say this. Probably due to COVID restrictions and complications, there are many other areas closer to the West Coast that were not able to host said event. Still wanted to have the event, and our brothers in Colorado stepped up and said, we will host the West Coast meet, so we're going to do it. That's the best explanation I think of that makes sense, that I was told. And it seems to sound perfect, and I think that's all I need to know, is that our brothers stepped up and said, you guys over on the actual coast specifically may not be able to host it, or one's closest to it, but you know what? We still want to have the event, so we'll host it. So kudos to you guys on that. Denver, Colorado is going to be where that's at. And yeah, so let's roll back into that, into our calendar events. I had to get that out there because I heard other people asking as well about why that was. So that's the West Coast meet, June 11th and 12th. June 11th and 12th. It's in Denver, Colorado. Hit up the brothers out there for further information. That same weekend, if you're closer toward what I would consider to be the Midwest / middle of the country area, anywhere near Knoxville, Tennessee, the Smoky Mountain Bearded Villains are hosting Well, they're hosting Knox Villains. Very successful event from last week. From last year. Very successful event. They're following it up year after year. Just it gets better and better, as you can well imagine. So Smoky Mountain's doing what Smoky Mountain does. Knox Villains, again, is June 11th and 12th, specifically June 12th. So hit up our brothers Smoky Mountain for further information on that. I've not heard any pros, cons, negatives, or whatever else about the Villain Cruise 5 overseas in Barcelona, but I think it's still on, but I don't know for sure. The Villain Cruise 5, September 2nd through the 6th, hosted by Finland and Sweden. It's in Barcelona, Spain. Hit those guys up if you want to participate. Then rolling into September, the East Coast meet. Not technically on the East Coast, but it's closer to the East. September 24th to the 26th. September 24th to the 26th. The East Coast meet is in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Hosted by our Bearded Villain brothers in West Virginia. The East Coast meet, September 24th to the 26th. September 10th through the 12th. September 10th to the 12th is the Four Corners meet, guys. The Four Corners meet, hosted by Phoenix, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah Bearded Villains. Hosted by Phoenix, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah Bearded Villains in Cortez, Colorado. Now, this one, remember, the Four Corners meet is for brothers only. Just time for brothers to get out, kind of in the wilderness, get out in the country, and just hang. That's what it's for. Just brothers being brothers for brothers. So that's the Four Corners meet. I've never been, but I've heard from anybody that has been there. It can be life-changing in many ways. So if you're anywhere near or able, get out there for the Four Corners meet, Cortez, Colorado, September 10th to the 12th. Then the newly announced Miami National Meet that is taking place of the World Meet this year. The World Meet has been pushed to next year again, but our Bearded Villain brothers in Miami stepped up and said, hey, we want to have it. We want to have something. We're going to have something and we're going to host. So, as we discussed last episode, Miami's hosting a national meet, August 13th to the 15th. Plans are still being made. Go back to the previous episode if you want details on where it's going to be held. Very cool location. But yeah, so check that out. Hit up the Bearded Villains in Miami if you need specific details. All the details should be released in the next week or two, hopefully. So that's August 13th through the 15th. Then October 14th through the 18th, I believe I've been told is the Florida Summit. I've not been somewhere in that area. That's a wide berth there, 14th to the 18th. But I've heard that there might be a Florida Summit in that area. So kind of date check that. Just kind of save the date if you want to do that. October 14th through 18th. I believe there might be a Florida Summit. We're hoping, right? We're hoping for everything, guys. We're hoping for everything. So that is the calendar of events, guys. Very, very cool stuff. Happy times to see it. All right. I did forget. I want to pop over here real quick and do this little bit of... If you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and coarse hairs, but make your beard soft and smell amazing, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo beard products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo beardoils.com, and use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. Okay, boys and girls, children of all ages, even you, Bear, who just turned 30, you small child, you. Guys, episode 76. I think we've done about all the damage we can do, right? For episode 76. So I'm going to leave it with that. I'm going to kick this thing off here with this little bit of music and say, guys, that's going to wrap up episode 76 of The Heart of a Villain. Remember, you can still buy shirts, patches, pins, all the good stuff, poker chips, lots of stuff. At theheartofavillain.simplecast.com, you can also listen to all previous 75 episodes of the podcast at that location. Guys, I want to challenge you, as I always do, to be the villain that the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. Guys, I say it time and time again, it's never more important than now. It's always important. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So guys, for now, have a great weekend. Enjoy the night. Happy birthday, Bear. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the week ahead. Take care and stay safe.
Fresh to death is obvious. We get live with the script, high off loops and kick spit rhymes with the b-boy Twitch, grabbing my junk and shit like it's 86. Shelly told 3 stripes we on. Hey, you know the B.I. It's BV worldwide fan ties, stateside across ponds, no borders. I am my brothers, keep your facial features covered. Stay feeling one brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay feeling.